Nominated for Best Station Imaging for Swinging Fridays at 2024 National Student Production Awards. We are V89.1, The Roar.
Good morning, Nova Nation. You are listening to The Morning Roar, WXVU's talk show that we host every Friday morning at 9 a.m. I am your host, MK Coolican, and I will be joined shortly by Nick Williams, as always. College students are always running late. I think that's something that we should talk about. I think there should be a 10-minute grace period for classes because of this fact. I think I'm always running late. My friends are always running late. So I would love that. But again, the fact that admin will actually institute that, it's like asking for a 4-day work week from the executive office. Just not going to happen. But we're going to kick it off here, folks, with some weather for this week. Let's see what we've got. Okay, today, high of 33, low of 25. It's been cold. I think we left when it was fall. We came back when it was winter. Saturday, high of 38, low of 31, and Sunday, high of 53, low of 31 yet again. Mostly sun, partly cloudy all 3 days. So should be a good weekend. Colder on Friday and Saturday, but Sunday getting up to 53. So in this weather, that's I'm wearing shorts type of beat. We have some exciting news to tell you guys. The IBS Awards came out last week, and this is essentially we just get to submit things from our radio station that we think have been doing a really good job. So there are certain categories. There's like best specialty show. So I was looking, and one of the nominated shows is Ladies of the 80s, that type of thing. So people who really specialize in one certain genre or decade. I think there was another one for K-pop. If you're listening, we always need more K-pop on WXVU. It's not my forte, but if it's yours, come on over. We'll set you up with a show. It'll be awesome. So what we're going to read right now is your campus radio station is a finalist in several award categories at the 2024-2025 Intercollegiate Broadcasting System Media Awards. WXVU is nominated for both a Best Public Affairs Program and Best News Interview. And the Best Public Affairs Program is coming from our WXVU and Health Department. So that's our nursing students that work with the radio station for one of their clinicals, which is really, really cool. So that's coming from, oh no, what did I do here? I just deleted on the document, guys. Oh no. Well, that's coming from, there it is, Ryan Batke, Laura Boyko, and Tegan Sullivan. And then I am actually the one who did the Best News Interview. And I interviewed a former student of Tim Walz. So when he was running for vice president with Vice President Harris, we got Mick Coughlin on. So he actually was in Tim Walz's social studies class in high school, and that was just a really, really interesting discussion. So the winners will be announced in March at the New York City conference. A couple of our WXVU DJs are hoping to go to that, and it should be a great time. So if you're listening and you're a DJ and want to check that out, or if you just want to come with or get involved with the station, I definitely encourage you to do so. And then, yeah, just as always, thanks to our loyal listeners for cheering us on at Villanova's V89.1, The Roar. When Nick gets here, guys, we're going to talk about the ever-present topic, which is Spotify Wrapped. Unfortunately, I'm an Apple Music user, but as many Apple Music users are, only by proxy. That is, my family pays for that subscription. I'm a struggling college student, not going to buy my own Spotify account on my own. And, you know, there are things I wish I could change about it, but it gets the job done. You know, most music is on there. I can listen to stuff I want. I can create playlists. I get a lot of hate for it. I think if you're an Apple Music user, you probably know what I'm talking about. But, you know, it's a struggle. Apple Music versus Spotify. I think it's going to be a constant head-to-head battle here. So we're always looking for new topics about what to discuss here on the Morning Roar. We have our sports segment, as always. Usually we have an interview. But today, you're just going to hear Nick and I talk, which I think will be a really, really good experience because we can talk. And I think it's always good to hear from Villanova students who get comfortable behind the mic because then you can really hear how they feel. And it's not just these scripted answers for an interview or something like that, or only one subject that we're researching. So in news, the United Healthcare CEO was shot in Midtown Manhattan. That was a big piece of news this week. Apparently some of the bullets said, I can't remember, it's 3 Ds: deny, defend, and something else. But it essentially comes from this book that is talking about insurance and big pharma and how insurance companies really could care less about you. So again, I think we're all waiting anxiously to see if you're following that story. Was it a hitman? Do hitmen really exist? Are they working in our community, or is that just, in movies with Tom Cruise in them? So that'll be interesting. Again, I think that CEO was described as a very kind man. So again, devastating loss. And just tragic that people would do that. But it'll be interesting to see why, and if they catch the person who did, the trial that follows. Another big piece of news here was the South Korean president declared martial law. That was a big thing. I also just got a video of him on my phone singing American Pie, which I thought was very, very ironic. If you don't know, that's the song that goes a long, long time ago. It's a very good song, but just very, very weird, especially because you have North Korea, neighbors to the north, incredibly, incredibly authoritarian and communist. And then you have South Korea, who you're hoping, okay, one of you got out of that regime. But then you have the South Korean president declaring martial law. It just doesn't make sense. Again, martial law, if you're unfamiliar, essentially, if anyone disagrees with the president, he can have them arrested. He can have them, it's illegal, essentially. I think a lot of us are worried that this could become a trend among world leaders, especially with this rightward push in France, Hungary, even the United States. So if we're just declaring martial law because we feel like it now, I think the rights of citizens could potentially be infringed upon. So we're going to look out for that. We'll have updates for you next week. Next week, Friday, is reading day for Villanova University, so we are not sure if we will have a broadcast next week, but it should be a good time if we do. I think we're going to talk all things Christmas because that'll be our Morning Roar Christmas special, because most of us leave for break that weekend or the next week. Finals, I think, finals end the 20th. That'll be the last scheduled final here at Villanova. So if you're lucky, I'm getting out of here on the 16th. I think a couple people are even earlier. If you don't have in-person finals, we can just do our papers at home, which is really, really nice. Okay, folks, let's read another white card now. WXVU is proud to announce that we were selected as the first place winner for Best News Interview at the 2023-2024 Media Awards hosted by the Intercollegiate Broadcasting System. WXVU's work for the 2023 Special Freshman Move-In Broadcast Interview with University President Father Peter Donahue was recognized. Students Chris Kokinos and Mandy Love Ledbetter produced and conducted this interview. We are your winner for Best News Interview V89-1, The Roar. So let's hope, everybody pray, that we can go back to back for first place winner for Best News Interview. Again, I may be biased because I'm the one up for it this year, but if you want to check that interview with Mick Coughlin out, it's on our streaming services. And you're probably, if you're an avid listener, you've been hearing the blurbs, but just a really, really cool interview. And it's always nice to know presidential candidates as a person and not just a politician, because we all know politics can, get a little messy. Okay. What have I been listening to? Let's talk about that. Okay, Hold On Tightly by John Denver. Incredible song. I was watching NCIS Origins the other day, and this song was in it. And essentially, this priest was looking for forgiveness, and he couldn't figure out how. And how to forgive himself, let alone how to ask for forgiveness from others. And a guy handed him a note, and it said, "There's always forgiveness and no one to blame." And then that quote is actually from the John Denver song Hold On Tightly. But when he signed the note, he said John Denver and probably God too. So I think a lot of these songs that have religious undertones in them are really, really interesting. I think, again, that's me coming from the theology major background. So maybe it's not as interesting to you as it is to me. But I'm trying to think. A lot of people have released religious albums. I'm Googling the Bob Dylan one right now. What is this called? Slow Train. So Slow Train is on the album Slow Train Coming, and it says, Slow Train Coming marks one of the most beguiling turns in Bob Dylan's career as he embraced born-again Christianity after experiencing divine intervention at a tour stop in Tucson, Arizona. So, a religious convert story of anything, but again, his biggest song on that album is Gotta Serve Somebody, and his last song on that album is When He Returns. So, I think especially when artists turn to God, we're thinking of Justin Bieber, Kanye West, just people who didn't have religion as the forefront of their brand, and now they do because their faith has become so important in their lives. I always think that's interesting because for Bob Dylan, that was one of his worst albums, selling wise. So monetarily, it didn't do great. But at the same time, I think if you're, that's 9 tracks on that album. If you're releasing that album and you really feel passionately about your faith, I could see that being a really cool creative project, especially for someone that, doesn't really need the money. I thought some of Kanye West's, I love his Jesus Walks, one of my favorite songs by him. And yeah, he's crazy. We all know that. But I think some of his artistry behind his songs with religious undertones are, you can't replicate them with any other artist. So I think that's especially unique. And Justin Bieber, I don't really listen to his music, but it's been cool to see him at worship services and stuff like that. I think especially at Villanova, we talk about this versatile God, that can touch anyone, and Imago Dei. He's in all of us, whatever you believe in. And I think that's, if the world could really believe in that and invest in that, we would be much happier and much more peaceful as a human race. So again, getting a little deep here, folks, but it's always a good time on the Morning Roar. If you're liking what you're hearing, we're here every Friday at 9 a.m. I'm your host, MK Kulikin. My host, Nick Williams, will be joining us shortly, and usually we're also joined by Stephen Kane from the WXVU Sports Department. Steve is just really, really knowledgeable. Later in the show today, we're going to cover sports for you because there's been a lot of men's and women's basketball going on. So that'll be really interesting. The women's team was just in the Bahamas for a tournament right before Thanksgiving break. I think 10 days they were there. One of my friends is a manager, so he was sending me pictures of the rooms and stuff. And it must be nice to have a sponsored trip to palm trees. I've got to say. But that's all for me, folks, for this first segment. If you're enjoying what you're listening to, come back. We'll have a short intermission here, and then we'll get to the second segment. You're listening to The Morning Roar on 89.1 WXVU The Roar. Don't go away.
Hello, everyone. This is Paul Quinlan of WXVU Sports, and you're listening to 89.1 WXVU The Roar.
The Villanova Leadership Program provides 6 different workshops on leadership tips and tricks, theories, and networking. Get Villanova Leadership certified and become a better leader. More information is available at villanova.edu/VLP.
Have you received a suspicious email from a professor or have been asked to communicate with them outside your Villanova email address? Have you been presented a job opportunity that requests you to purchase gift cards as a form of payment? If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Don't fall victim to malicious scams. If you come across an email that looks suspicious, don't take the bait. Report the fish. You can do this by using the Report Message button in Outlook. You can visit villanova.edu/phishing with a PH to learn more to keep yourself, your peers, and our university cyber safe.
Welcome back, folks. You are listening to The Morning Roar on 89.1 WXVU The Roar. It is Friday, December 6th, and you know what that means. 19 days until Christmas. I feel like every year it goes by faster. When I was a little kid, my mom had this giant stocking, and you would move the candy cane from each date to the next until we got to 25. And I remember, I feel like it would take so long for it to move to the 1 to the 2 and the 13 to the 14, that type of thing. But this year, obviously, we have finals and all that stuff. It's flying. I'm like, how is it already Thanksgiving? How is it already December? I can actually listen to Christmas music now without being judged. It's flying. So let's all make sure to spend time with our families and really soak it in this holiday season, because I think this year more than ever, we're grateful for that. And Christmas is always a good time. It really is. So on that note, let's talk about favorite Christmas songs. I think this is heavily debated, right? Mariah Carey is up there. We have older albums like Nat King Cole, but there's a lot of really, really good albums. One of my favorite songs is the Eagles' Please Come Home for Christmas, which, if you're not familiar, I'm going to play the intro for you right now. Bells will be ringing. You know it. You love it. Nick just walked into the station. We're about to get silly. So now you're getting your morning roar that you all paid for, right? For free. Hold on. Let me fix the camera. One sec.
Good morning, Nova Nation. It is good to be back for this last episode of the semester. It's crazy to think about it. It's already the last episode. You know what you think?
I know. Let's see. Perfect. Okay, guys, we're back. Nick, just to fill you in, I talked a little bit about the South Korean president declaring martial law.
Yep.
Crazy. I talked about the United Healthcare CEO getting killed.
I saw that. That is the craziest thing to happen on the internet, I think, this last week.
Yes, give us your thoughts on that.
Thoughts not in network.
Okay. I'm thinking, are hitmen real?
I think they are. I think they 100% are. Like talk about, like, you know, I see on the internet, like, you know, the NYPD were glazing this guy. It's like, I believe it.
Yeah.
After seeing some of the footage, the guy was cool, calm, collected. He might have been the guy, the sharpshooter from the Olympics. That one, the one stage guy, hand and pocket guy. You know what I'm talking about?
No, fill me in.
So there's this one guy at the Olympics. There was one of the sharpshooters. I think it was Swedish.
Okay.
And he scored really. He scored second place, and he kind of just walked in t-shirt, jeans, had his left hand in his pocket, took 2 shots, and landed them like almost dead center.
Wow.
It was completely casual. The guy probably was like, I was on the way here. Might as well
Wow.
stop by.
Yeah.
Probably walked out, got a drink, went back home.
Wow.
Kind of guy.
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of how you have to be to pull that off. Middle of Midtown Manhattan. I'm like, how did no one see?
I mean, also given the vibe of New York, it's probably if you don't see nothing, don't
Yeah,
say nothing.
True. Bystander effect. Favorite Christmas song?
I actually despise Christmas songs.
Okay, let's talk about that.
I don't know what it is. They bother me. And the
Grinch just rolled into the WXVU studio, guys.
I might be the Grinch, low key.
So, given that we're on our holiday playlist now for WXVU, this must be a little painful for you.
It's a little painful, but it's some people's cup of tea. And
Okay.
I feel like I had to respect that because some people really do really get into this kind of stuff. And it makes them happy, and to see them happy makes me happy.
Yes.
So I choke it down.
Okay. Well, I can respect that. Doing it for others.
Yeah.
Chivalry is not dead.
Hell yeah.
I was saying that the Eagles, I think, put out really good Christmas music. Same with Eartha Kitt. I'm a big Santa baby girl. That song slaps. And Nat King Cole, as always, the Chestnuts Roasting song is really, really good. Let's get to Spotify Wrapped.
We were texting about
Yes, we were texting about this.
All right.
What have you got for me?
So last year, let me pull up my data.
And for people that don't know, Spotify Wrapped, or because I'm an Apple Music user, as I also talked about,
Ew.
only by proxy, I swear. Apple Music's is called a replay. So replay just is essentially the same thing, and you can see like your top 5 songs of the year, your top 5 albums, top 5 artists, how many minutes you listen to. Let's start with that. You listen to a lot of music. I think I had like 34,000, and I listen a lot. Like, obviously I listen to my vinyls a lot too. 100 and what?
So last year was 105K.
Okay.
This year upgraded to 123,757 minutes.
I would like to see how many minutes are in a year. And
It's 5 hours a day. It's a good chunk.
Okay. So tell me, what are your favorite times to listen to music? When do you throw that on?
When I sleep. That's how I rack up hours. I put on some stuff when I sleep.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep.
Is that like you're throwing on Noah Khan, or is this like ASMR, like the calm sounds? You know, those ads that are like, shh, if you have anxiety. Like, what are you throwing on?
I'm throwing on like ambient stuff, but I'm not trying to throw on like white noise or something. I'm throwing on like some video game soundtracks. It's going to be like Flawed Mangoes, Novo More,
Okay.
Low Swimmer, right? It's something spacey, but something that has like substance still like something I would still listen to it awake,
Okay.
right? But it's definitely not something like Five Finger Death Punch.
Got it. Okay. So let's start with artists.
Mhm.
Give me your top 5.
For this year, my top 5 were, guess what? You can tell me what number 1 is.
Noah Khan.
Of course. Second was G-Eazy. Third,
Could have guessed that with his backstage passes that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
yeah, we still have to talk about that.
Yes.
My third was Novo More. Fourth was Rule, and fifth was Gavin.
Okay. My number 1 was Fleetwood Mac. Number 2 was the Rolling Stones. Number 3 was the Eagles. Number 4 was Billy Joel. I'm surprised by that one, guys.
Mhm.
I like Billy Joel. Not enough for him to be my number 4. Number 5 was Role Model. That's like my favorite contemporary artist right now. He's been really, really good. So, number 1, Nick, how many minutes do you have for Noah Khan?
Let me find that statistic. I think it was 7K, 7,727. I was the top 0.1% of listeners, and I believe my longest listening streak was 34 days
Wow. Of straight Noah Khan.
of straight Noah Khan.
Wow. See, I have Fleetwood Mac with like 702 minutes. My longest streak was 92 days, but again, 7,000.
And I still think that like 0.1%, that puts me in the top like 3 million listeners. I get it, but like I saw somewhere on Twitter or something like that. It was like if you're in the top 0.0001% of artists, you should be able to go to their house. I completely stand with that.
Yes, or have dinner at least. Like, let's do something. Okay, top 5 songs.
From Noah Khan.
Or like your top 5 songs that you listen to throughout the year. Does yours break it down like that?
Oh yeah, I have the top 5.
Give me those.
Jeez, you're not gonna know any. Well, you know one of the titles. Number 1 is "I Am Not Who I Was" by Chance Pena.
Okay.
Vices by Gavin is number 2. Stick Season is number 3. State Lines by Novo Moore is number 4. And July, I forget who the artist is number 5.
Is that Noah Cyrus?
It might be Noah Cyrus.
Okay, that's a good song. I knew 2 of those.
Probably
That's
just 2,
pretty good.
I
Given
mean-
that our music taste is pretty different,
Mhm.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Out
Yeah,
of
sure.
those, do you think they're accurate?
Okay. I feel like I listened to a lot of the live album from Noah, and I feel like that should have been up there as well.
Okay.
Stick Season, I like the song. I just don't think it's that I listen to it that much. I listen to Orange Juice, I listen to New Perspective, I listen to Homesick a lot, and I'm surprised that none of those are up there.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Orange Juice is so good.
oh my god, I'll take Stick Season, but it's definitely something I wouldn't be advertising that I like.
My top 5 were I listened to 4,163 total songs throughout the year. My number 1 was Summertime by the Sundays, banger. Number 2 is Maneater from Hall & Oates, another banger. Linger from the Cranberries, Not Strong Enough from Boy Genius, and Yesterday from the Beatles. That last one is just because it always comes up on my shuffle. And like when I'm working out or something and I can't find my phone, like I've got to listen to it. But I wish a different song was at number 5. I really do.
Yeah.
At least if I'm going from the Beatles in my life, anything off the Revolver album, I would be much happier with that. Okay, before we go to break here, let's hear the albums. Top 5 albums.
Here's the thing: Spotify doesn't give you that anymore, so I had to go to my third-party app to look at my top 5 albums.
Okay. I'll do mine first then.
Go ahead.
First was Kansas Anymore by Role Model. If you remember, he was also my 5th most liked artist. Second, I was so happy with this, The Melodic Blue by Baby Keem. Dude, he if you don't know, that's the album that's like, I'm inspired by the women who want to be politicians. Like that album goes so hard. It's always on when I hit legs. So I think that just means I hit 241 minutes of legs this year, which is also kind of scary. Hit Me Hard and Soft by Billie Eilish.
Mhm.
Again, it's a staple. That the production quality of that album, like her brother, if you don't know, her brother Phineas produces her albums with her. That album was crazy.
And Phineas's artist is also insane.
Insane. And I don't think he gets enough rep.
Absolutely not.
Tapestry by Carole King was my 4th. I was plugging that hard at the end of last year along with Paul Simon, so I'm happy with that. And then Bonnie Raitt, The Best of My Love was 5. And I think that's because my mom and I share a Apple Music account, so I'm pretty sure that's her because I don't listen to Bonnie Raitt that much. Let's hear it, sir.
Cool. So you're not gonna be surprised at all.
Okay.
At number 1 with 1,380 minutes is Stick Season.
Okay.
At number 2 is with 1,106 minutes is Fourth Wall by Rule.
Okay.
Number 3 is Stick Season, the We'll All Be Here Forever variant.
Okay, what's the difference?
There's some bonus tracks. Like you get
Got
the View Between Villages, the extended version,
Okay.
and I think you get a couple features.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Cool.
Number 4 is Busy Head,
Nice.
and number 5 is the Live from Fenway album.
That I think that's my favorite.
Yeah,
And hearing the Zach Bryan lore about that was crazy.
it is crazy.
And then like the lore with his ex-girlfriend from Barstool, and like he was actually too drunk to go on that night, and that was confirmed.
Yep.
It's crazy. Okay, folks. Well, you just heard our Spotify Wrapped. hopefully you're not roasting us at home talking about how awful our music taste is.
Trust me, my music taste is awful. You don't have to roast me.
Yes.
Yes.
Awful or unique. We're just too niche for
Let's
you
go.
guys.
Let's go with traumatized because the Noah Khan Spotify Wrapped message was like him basically him just saying, "I'm sorry, I gave you trauma.
Yes.
Go see a therapist. Don't listen to my music."
But that's the best kind of music, right?
Yep.
And so we don't have to go see our therapist.
Go see your therapist. If you have a therapist, go see your
Yes,
therapist.
all of our WXView and health people would say, go see your therapists. Okay, after this, folks, we're going to head for a short break, and then we'll talk about G-Eazy. Maybe we'll get into Nick's recent skateboarding.
Yup.
Yeah, we're going to have some good topics, and we'll talk about some sports, too. So we'll be back right after this. I'm MK Coolican.
And I'm Nick Williams.
And you're listening to the Morning Roar on 89.1 WXVU, The Roar.
This is Grant Cuppinger, the host of Midnight Melodies, and you're listening to 89.1 The Roar.
Did you know Villanova has 5 fitness centers on campus? The Davis Center, the McGuinn Gym in the Commons, the Farley Gym on West Campus, the Stanford Gym on South Campus, and the Riley Group Exercise Studios in the Commons. In the Riley Group Exercise Studios, students can take part in fitness classes like yoga, spin, and Pilates. Not interested in the gym? Take a stroll through the VU walking trail or stop by one of the many tennis or basketball courts on campus. Villanova also offers sports and fitness organizations, club sports, and teams just for fun. There's something for everyone. This message is brought to you by senior nursing students in the M. Louise Fitzpatrick College of Nursing, the Office of Health Promotion, and WXVU 89.1 The Roar.
Did you miss your favorite WXVU show? Have no fear, because every single WXVU show is available on demand. You heard that right, every single show. Search WXVU on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts, and you'll find archives of all of our weekly shows. It's another reason why this truly is the greatest semester in the history of Villanova's V89.1, The Roar.
You know you're the mastermind. Run, Rudolph. Randolph ain't too far behind.
Welcome back, folks. You're listening to the Morning Roar on 89.1 WXVU The Roar. If you're new or if you're a returning listener, I'll just do the usual plug. You can listen to us every Friday morning at 9 a.m. on your FM dial. Tune it to 89.1 FM. We have a 10-mile radius around campus, so even if you're driving to or from Philly, you can tune in, which is really, really cool. That's been a recent addition of our station. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. We also stream live on YouTube, so if you want to see Nick and I's beautiful faces, you can tune in to our live YouTube link. They're also posted after the show, and you can go back and rewatch if you missed one. That's the spiel. Let's get into G-Eazy.
All right, G-Eazy, what you want to know?
Was it fire?
It was. I said this the last episode, but I think I officially have ruined my concert going experience. It's cooked. It's over. And here's why.
Okay.
I got VIP tickets.
Okay.
For under $500. I got them for $250. Right?
That's really good. That's
really
nosebleeds good for anyone else, like any big artist.
Yeah, exactly. So I got early access to the venue.
Okay.
I got a signed lanyard or a signed like VIP ticket thing. It's hanging in my room.
Cool.
From G-Eazy.
Cool.
I got a picture with G-Eazy and a meet and greet.
I saw the picture was hard.
Yeah.
I was like, this goes crazy.
It was hard it was so cool. And the thing is, like, so I put on an outfit for him, and like, and he's really like, even given like his discography being like really loud and brash a lot of the time, I went out and I shook his hand. And he's like really soft spoken.
Wow.
He's like really like, yeah, man, it's really chill. He's like so mild. It's crazy to think about. He's the same guy who also wrote like Him and I.
Yeah, that's insane.
Oh yeah, and he complimented my hoodie, so I was like,
hey, hype me up, G-Eazy. I've never met a celebrity like that. What was it like?
It was weird because I was, first of all, I was nervous. Like I wanted to shake hands, like, hey Jeezy, just want to let you know, like you really helped influence who I was as a musician today. I really would enjoy like seeing you tonight live, and it's gonna be such a magical experience. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Glazing.
Yeah.
Right.
Stuff the turkey, if you will.
Let's not get that far. But it's definitely cool because I definitely wanted to treat him like a human being.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to be like, oh my god, you're like my top artist or something. He's my number 2, but like he doesn't have to know that. But I definitely wanted to make an impression upon him that I really appreciated him, and I think he got it.
Okay, good.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah, that is cool as hell.
Yeah.
Would you see him again?
I would 100% see him again. I would love to get the VIP. I would buy the VIP package all over again in a heartbeat.
Wow, that's big.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Especially because I got to see him like up close too. I was on the rail, and it was a smaller venue. I felt like a lot more intimate. I felt a lot more. It felt like he was talking to me. I didn't feel like he was just talking to a crowd, to a crowd. I feel it was a conversation.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Any other concerts on your horizon?
I was going to see Phineas, that I didn't. And then, yeah. Flawed Mangoes is supposed to be doing a thing here in Philly, but I think it's after we leave for summer.
Okay.
And yeah, I feel like I'm really particular with the kind of concerts I want to go to. Like a lot of people be saying, like, "Oh my god, we're going to see Travis Scott at the Wells or something, or we're going to see Travis Scott at the Link," right? And like, yeah, it's Travis Scott, and it's probably a really good concert. The guy knows how to perform. I just don't know if I want to see Travis Scott. Right, that's not something I want to invest money into. Or
I think you'd have to love rap.
You'd have to love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not.
I don't think I could sit through 3 hours of rap.
Yeah.
Like, I think the sensory overload for me, at least from like Fiend videos and like the smoke coming out of the arenas, I'm like,
fiending for more.
Yeah, this is crazy. Good point. Good point. I think concerts on my horizon are Role Model, which he's coming in March, so I'm hyped for that. Please slide the free press tickets if you're listening.
Cat, give us the card. Cat, give us the card.
WXVU will write you a future Role Model. Support college radio stations, please. So that's it for concerts. As always, guys, if you're listening and you want to check out your own concerts, come over to WXVU. We'll hook you up.
Yep.
Let's talk about skateboarding.
Let's talk about skateboarding.
I've been seeing pictures of Nick and his skateboard a lot. And there was a time when I was quite into skateboarding as well. So let's talk about it. What board do you have? Do you love it? Are you getting better? And can you do a kickflip?
Okay, so before I talk about what kind of board I have, I want to explain some philosophy first. So when I first started out getting into photography, my first camera that I had, it wasn't my digital camera, the film camera. I had a Canon SLR. Right, it was a fully automatic one. I had the computer in it and everything. I didn't love that camera, so therefore I didn't shoot it a lot.
Okay.
Right, and then I got a fully manual like a camera from the 1970s. It was an Olympus OM1.
That's sick.
Yep, it had a light meter in it. You had to manually control the aperture, manually control the exposure.
Cool.
And it had made like all these tactile clicks. It was heavy. It was I loved that camera.
Was it film?
It was film.
Oh,
right. And because I love that camera so much, I put maybe 10 or 12 rolls in it in a month.
You were dropping bank.
I was dropping bank.
Guys, let's talk about that. Film is way too expensive.
It's like I shot black and white, so it was maybe like $10 to $13 a roll, but still like $100 or like $150 in film.
Oh. Still, the like Kodak Gold shit. That's oh, sorry.
Oh.
The Kodak. The Kodak Gold stuff is so expensive.
It is really expensive because like no one really shoots it. But here's the thing about that camera: because I shot it more, I got better at it. And it might not have been as good of a camera as the Canon one because I didn't have a computer in it. Because I shot it more, I got better, and I knew how to use it without all the crutches. So let me explain what board I have. The deck I have is from Supreme, right?
Okay.
I feel like that is kind of to be expected, but like a lot of people, especially on the internet, are saying like you shouldn't be skating Supreme decks, right? Those are decks you put on the wall. Those are art pieces.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I've been wearing Supreme, and I've been buying from that brand for a while.
Yeah.
Right. I've invested a lot of money.
That was
into it.
huge in middle school.
It was massive.
I
in
remember
middle
I had
school.
Supreme stickers on everything.
Were
That
they
was-
real?
No. They were from like Redbubble, dude. Like
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm a cool kid. Let me in the group, guys.
Yeah, I got the Supreme skateboard for 2 reasons. One,
Okay.
I've been buying for Supreme in a while, and I knew that Supreme was a skateboard brand first and foremost.
Okay.
So as a thing, I don't want to be a poser anymore, and I want to be able to skateboard and wear the brand at the same time. So like I took it to do both. And from the camera philosophy, it's something that like because I like Supreme, I like the brand. I'm going to skate the board more because I like being around my skateboard wearing that or repping the Supreme stuff. So like it makes more sense to encourage me, right? It might not be the best board in the world. It might be a board that I should skate, but it's a board that I'm going to skate because it's going to be something that I like.
Okay. Cool.
Now for the skateboard fans out there, I am running. Let's see, what am I running? I'm running Independent Co. Reynolds trucks, the hollow ones. I'm running I forget the name of the wheels, but they're longboard wheels. But I have the board on like hella risers,
Okay, cool.
so it's pretty tall. But I can accommodate some larger wheels because this is not going to be like a trick skateboard. This is a campus cruiser.
Okay.
So,
Dude, the electric ones are so cool.
oh my god, I'm so mad they got banned on campus.
When I see it used to be cold and they could keep their hands in their pockets and they'd
Yeah.
be controlling it from in there. I'd be like, how are you moving? This is so dope.
It's so steezy as
Yeah.
well.
I was like, you look cold as you know what. Like this is sick. Nick, if you're listening, I did remember not to swear on air. So please say you're proud of me. I have a Tony Hawk deck.
Nice.
That thing is fire. I painted it over quarantine, which was also fire. It had like an eagle with claws, and so I painted like stuff in the claws. It was really cool. And I just run with his trucks. I just change them out every so often. I'm not great, but like it gets you where you need to go sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it's been less than a week for me that I've had this board like completely built.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised that I'm able to go in a straight line.
Yeah.
Honestly, get on the board and like push. That's something that took me a while to learn. But like I locked myself outside at along the train tracks on
Okay.
West. There's a parking lot. I pushed up and down that for like an hour
Good.
trying to learn.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I feel like also it's such a good time to spend by yourself.
Yeah, it's a great time to spend by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I really like about it. It's just even same with biking. We've talked about biking on here before.
Yep.
It's just it's you in the world, you know?
Mhm.
That's a good feeling. Racing bikes. Any updates there?
So I have not really. I mean, I have my bike
Okay.
and I look forward to going back and seeing it. But like, of course, I can't really ride it. It's way too cold.
It's so cold.
It's so cold. Can you talk about that for a second? Yesterday it was so windy. For what reason?
Guys, yes. I was reading the weather at the beginning of the first segment and I was like, okay, it's only 30. But when it's 30 and we have 40-mile-per-hour gusts,
Stay home.
I was
Oh
in
my
third
God.
floor Tollentine yesterday. I literally thought the building was going down.
Please. I don't care if I'm in the building. Please let Tollentine fall down.
Yes.
Father Peter, if you're hearing that, no, you're not.
apparently they have plans to like build a new courtyard. I'm like, can we just get normal bathrooms in that place?
Please.
Like there are things we need before a courtyard in that hall. And I also think it's crazy because it's split between arts and engineers.
Yeah, and it's still split. It makes me so mad because
You have Sear.
we have Sear. We have the whole new part of Sear. I thought we were supposed to get an upgrade. Well, some people did. A lot of people did. Graduate students. I'm glad the grad students got the upgrade.
Yeah.
Shout out grad students. But
Shout out grad students.
What
Still
the-
deciding to pursue engineering through it all.
I know it's crazy. What are you doing? But what happened to the undergrad, bro? I'm still going to third floor Tollentine to do like statics. Please, no.
Are you involved with the like F1 team here?
I just finished my last project for the Formula team like yesterday.
Okay, talk to our listeners a little bit about that because you and I are both Formula One fans.
Yes.
But how does that work on a college level? I've always been interested about that.
Okay. So I want to say like I'm in like the rushing process.
Okay.
So I'm not a member yet, but I kind of have a grasp on it.
Rush F1.
Rush F1. It's Rush Formula Student, Rush Nova Racing, guys. But so what do you want to know exactly? Like the process for?
I guess like, do Nova kids drive it?
Yes. There's a day where everyone gets to drive the car around a course, and whoever gets the top two fastest times are the drivers.
Wow, that must be intense.
I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, imagine like
that's crazy.
all the
Wait, that is so
seniors-
cool.
Yeah, like all the seniors have been like probably like hitting the racing sims, wanting to get like the fastest times as possible, right? You know, because they want to drive the car before they graduate.
Yeah,
But of course, you have everyone else that
and you
wants to
compete against different schools.
Yep, at Michigan and I think Chicago. There's also competition.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, that is so cool because I always see the barn on campus.
Yep.
Next to the Wampus Mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, folks, we are going to head to our last break here before Ordinary People Doing Extraordinary Things comes on. But our last segment, let's talk about sports.
Yeah.
You'll have the inside scoop as a band member, and we'll give you a recap of scores and all that fun stuff. So you are listening to The Morning Roar on 89.1 WXVU. The Roar. Don't go away.
Hi, this is Sinead, Director of Promotions, and you're listening to 89.1 The Roar.
Hi, everybody. This is WXU Sports Director David Chupansky, and you can join me every Wednesday from 12 to 1 p.m. right here on WXVU for a new edition of Villanova Sports Talk, an hour live show dedicated to just Villanova sports, featuring student-led discussion, analysis, game previews, game recaps, player and coach interviews, and so much more. So please consider joining me this Wednesday and every Wednesday right here on WXVU, the 89.1, The Roar.
The Villanova Tech Zone is a free resource for helping students, faculty, and staff troubleshoot their technological needs. Contact the Tech Zone at 610-519-7777. Chat with them online or visit their law school, Falvey Library, or New Commons offices. For more information, visit unit.villanova.edu.
Hang on, mistletoe, I'm gonna get to.
Good morning. You are listening to The Morning Roar. We are back. I'm MK Coolican.
And I'm Nick Williams.
And we're going to talk about sports.
All right.
Nick, as you guys all know, is a percussionist for the Villanova band. So for the games that I don't attend, which has not been many, I'm trying to think, double negative. I haven't attended many this year. Let's talk about recent Villanova games because the loss to St. Joe's was tough.
Yeah.
That was November 12th. After that, we lost to Virginia 70-60.
Yeah.
On the 15th. And then we crushed Penn 93-49 on the 19th.
What?
Yes. Let's talk about the Maryland game.
Listen.
76-75 Maryland W. That one hurt. Let's talk about it.
Listen, E. Dixon, 38 points that game.
Yes, he's back.
Like what?
The king.
What?
We thought he was washed.
No, that might be you, MK. I had the faith. Bro might be old. Bro probably is old. He probably
is fully 40.
Tom Brady status in this.
Guys, every time I see him on campus, I just slowly look up. You are an adult. Like you could have kids, dude.
We are truly. I feel like so small next to him too. Like bro is so big.
Yes.
Like, what are you doing?
And that's why he scores 38 points.
Exactly.
He just boxes out like crazy. Was that a loss in overtime or regular time?
I think
Do you remember?
was a regular time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ugh. That 38 points for E. Dixon.
But here's the thing. First half, it was 40-28 Villanova favor. We were up by what? That's 12 points.
Yeah, that's crazy.
At the half. And then we somehow lose it, and we only score 35 in the second half, and MD scores 48. How do we let this kind of thing happen? What's wrong? What's with the second half upset? Right?
And I gotta say, is Coach Knepp gonna keep his job?
Well, I'll tell you why he's gonna keep his job, because we beat the Rider Bronx in a good game.
72-48.
Yeah.
That was Wednesday, November 27th.
And let me tell you about the number 4 seed. Hold on, guys.
14.
The number 14 ranked team, Cincinnati Bearcats, with the win 68-60.
Okay, you're right. I'll give him credit on that one.
Hello, and we led the entire time. We didn't lose the lead a single time.
So do you think we're going to be ranked?
No. But that
all during the whole year?
I don't think so. But here's the thing.
Will we make the tournament?
We'll make the tournament.
You think?
I think we'll make the tournament. I think we're a Sweet 16.
Really?
I think we make the Sweet 16. And I'll tell you why. Because I feel like when we get back from second semester, something's going to change. Something fundamental is going to change. Something huge is going to happen. Like some sort of weight is going to shift, and we're going to feel it on campus. The second we come back, it's going to be different.
Yep, and those are big games. When we get back, we're playing UConn, who's ranked 25. We're playing Providence, Georgetown, number 5 Marquette.
We might not win against Marquette.
But again, if you show up against Marquette and you're close against a 5 rank,
yep,
that could be huge.
And we have the tools to do it. I mean, it's obvious. Every single time we have Eric Dixon and Jameer Brickus on the same court, it's over. It's surgical.
Yes, it really is. Wow. If we make it to the Sweet 16, does Band get to go to that?
Yes.
That is so fire.
Isn't it?
That is so fire.
I think it is with like Sweet 16 and beyond. Band gets to go.
Okay, cool. Wow. And they fly you out.
We get flown out. Yeah, we get hotels, and it's no sleep. After being on the Big East trip, it is absolutely 0 sleep.
Yeah, because
come on, what do you think happens? What do you think happens?
You party
hard, dawg.
Okay, that's fire.
Me and my bank account about to be arch rivals is the words I'm looking for.
I guess what I'm wondering is they don't no one's monitoring you.
I mean, we were getting monitored in the times that we have to, like when we had to go report for our for NCAA requirements or NCAA commitments. Yes, we have to be monitored. We're with our directors.
Got it.
Right? That's
what I was wondering. Like, where are the adults in the situation? When the cats are away, the mice will play type beat.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Let's talk about women's basketball.
Women's basketball.
Because as we've said, sometimes 75% of the time, that's more exciting.
It is more exciting.
Denise Dillon is, tenured, some could say. She is in there.
Oh, for sure.
They handily beat Penn 80-64 on the 20th. And then they beat A&M 65-57 on the 23rd. And then they lost to UNC on the 24th, but UNC is a 16 seed.
Yeah.
They also lost to Baylor. Baylor's always good. And then they beat St. Joe's on Sunday, December 1st.
Yeah, I will say for the battle for Atlantis, though, we shouldn't be scoring only 36 points.
And that was in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I feel like y'all... if y'all are in the Bahamas and relaxing that much at the Bahamas, I feel like y'all should be able to step up a little bit more than 36.
Well, maybe they were relaxing too much.
I think that might have been
I think that's the juice of the situation.
All right, hit the gym.
Real.
But today is the first game of the Big Five against Temple.
Okay.
At the Finn.
What's your prediction?
I think it's going to be close.
Is that 7 p.m.?
It's at 7 p.m.
Okay. Pull up, guys.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. It's at 8 p.m. My fault. 8 p.m. tonight.
So what time do you report for an 8 p.m. game?
Probably, 7.
Okay.
I'm there at 7, probably 6:45 because I want to warm up a little bit more.
Okay.
But listen, a lot of the favor is in Villanova's. It's looking towards Villanova here. Although we are ranked 3 places lower than them in the Big East,
Yeah.
I think we score very similarly. We our rebounds per game are very similar, or might be less. Yeah, it is less. You know what? But I think we have a good team in general. I think we're very, very cohesive, and I think we're very fluid.
Yeah.
And I think that's what matters the most. And we make a lot of plays. We're passing the ball a lot. And I feel like
Maddie Weber and Maddie Burke.
Bro, Maddie's on top.
Yes.
Please.
Yes. If only we had Segrist. It'd be insane.
I better see her at the game too. Maddie Segrist, if you're listening, come say hi.
Pull up. Any last words for our listeners before we got a couple minutes here before we're gonna hand it off to John? This will probably be our last show of the semester.
I think it is our last show of the semester.
Just because next Friday I think is reading day.
It is.
Yeah, so we will be reading.
No, we won't.
We will be napping.
Exactly. We will be hardcore napping.
Yes. Nick will have his music on. That's equated to 130,000 minutes of listening.
Yeah.
To recap. But favorite things from the Morning Roar, things you're interested in to talk about next semester. I think we'll be back at Friday 9 a.m. again next semester. So what do you want to plug?
What do I want to plug? I want to say to the people of Villanova University listening to this and beyond, I think having one-ply toilet paper is not bad. Hear me out. You should not be purchasing one-ply toilet paper. That stuff is not worth your money. However, any corporate office will have one-ply toilet paper in stocks, right? They have so much of it. No one's saying you can't take it. And I don't think anyone will miss it.
Okay. I was talking about being a struggling college student in the first section before you showed up. I can get down with this.
Yep.
I took tampons from the Nova Nook last week.
There you go.
You know?
Don't pay for that.
Those are expensive, ladies. Like, let's talk about that. I'm not going to drop $25 just because I got my period.
Yeah, no, like for me, it's like I can't be doing that. It's like
if a guy does it.
Yeah.
But I walked out with probably 2 handfuls of just green tubes. It was the funniest thing. Came back to radio, put them in my backpack, and I was on my way.
Tight.
But guys, that's why Nova Nook is there. If you ever need snacks, menstrual products, it's all in there. I discovered that last year. Definitely have taken my fair share of mac and cheeses from there.
Guys, if you have a lady friend, you gotta do your research on this stuff.
Yes.
It goes a long way.
Yes. Pads with wings are not buffalo wings. let's also set the
Rancher blue cheese, guys.
Yes. Do your research. There's a lot of good sites online that can help you out.
Have you seen like the reaction, like guys on TikTok be like, "Oh, I got a tampon. I'm gonna put it in water to see what happens," and they like have like a visceral reaction to what happens. It's like, "Oh my god, what the hell?"
Yes. Or other people are like, "You bleed every month." It's like, guys, come on.
This has been known.
As always, guys, we covered a wide variety of topics in today's episode, from the weather to the declaration of martial law in South Korea. We talked about the United Healthcare killing their CEO. We talked about G-Eazy and Spotify Wrapped. We talked about Supreme skateboard decks. We talked about Villanova men's and women's basketball. And now we're ending it out with menstrual products. I think that's a pretty good show.
I dare anyone to tell us what we can't talk about on this station, because we will find a way to talk about it. I'm so serious.
Yes. And as always, I apologize for my slip up. Sometimes, as you can tell, it gets rowdy in here and we forget we're on air. But I think we do a pretty good job abiding by the FCC guidelines.
I think there'd be like a 3-strike you're out rule.
Yeah. That's
Nick, write it up.
Yeah. That was just a foul ball, folks. Like I made contact.
Sure.
Well, that's it for us. You're listening to the Morning Roar on 89.1 WXVU, The Roar. We are here every Friday at 9 a.m. We'll be back, I think, the week of January 17th.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
That's a long time.
Oh my God, don't even talk to me about it. That's more than a month.
I know. Holy moly. But for now, I'm MK Coolican.
And I'm Nick Williams.
And make sure to listen to the Morning Roar on all streaming platforms. Have a great weekend and a great rest of your Friday.
Villanova University's WXVU Villanova, serving the main line, including Montgomery, Delaware, and Chester counties at 89.1 on your FM dial. We're streaming online at our website, WXVU.com.